Tuesday, April 1, 2014, 12:53 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. This short video will answer two questions. First one is, why study mathematics? Number one, it's practical in everyday life. Number two, it's fascinating and interesting. Number three, you're going to live a long time. Let's say you live to be 75 or 80 years old. You're going to have a lot of fun and physical activity when you are young, but you're going to be old longer, a lot longer than you're young, if you're going to live to be 75 or 80. And learning mathematics, continuing to learn mathematics, is a great way to stave off boredom and other sciences as well, in conjunction with maths, such as physics, chemistry, etc., etc. And now here's the second question. I'm going to this second question is courtesy of Quora, and the question is, how does one become a mathematical genius? And the answer is by Kiaochu, I repeat, Kiaochu Yuan, PhD student in mathematics at the University of California at Berkeley. And here's the answer. Genius is a loaded word. I would prefer to answer two less loaded versions of this question. What kind of conditions make a child more likely to be really good at math? And what should I personally do if I want to be really good at math? I did my last video with an English accent, so I think this time I'll switch to Southern. And by the way, I'm going to switch to my good old-fashioned rules of grammar, which includes gender non-neutral language. Short answers, good teachers, and opportunities to do math. Find a good teacher and do a lot of mathematics. Long answers, I know lots of smart people. Most of them don't do math. I hear stories from the ones that don't do math, and they sound something like this. They was good at math in school up to a certain point. Well, obviously this ain't standard English. This is standard Southern. Then they took a class with a terrible teacher and didn't do as well as they was used to, and now they do something else. Now switch to a modified slight German accent. In mathematics, one bad math teacher can completely break the chain. If a bad math teacher causes you to miss out on some important part of your foundation, that's going to make all of your subsequent math classes harder, and you're not going to have fun doing math. Mathematics builds on itself in a way that other subjects do not, at least at the middle and high school level. You can have a bad history teacher and still probably do okay in your next history class. Chinese/Japanese accent. My own story is a little different. I had the good fortune to be taught by a string of amazing mathematical teachers. None of them broke my chain. None of them yanked at my chain. I also had lots of opportunities to do mathematics. I was in mathematics club in both middle and high school, and that provided a lot of opportunities. And my high school calculus teacher also pushed me into doing mathematical contests like the AMC/AIME and applying for summer programs like PROMYS. All of those experiences were extremely important contributions to my current mathematical ability. And one of my favorites, Italian, mostly because it relaxes me. Most, but not all, of the people I know who are good at the mathematics have some kind of contest background. Contests expose you to a lot of interesting mathematics relatively early on. certainly much more interesting than whatever they teach in a middle and high school. When did they quit the calling of the junior high? And they are also fun if you're good at them. Parenthetically, I'll freely admit that that was also an important factor. Being good at mathematics may be fun, which helped me get better, which made it more fun. Non-parentheses. Russian. So much for first question. The second question is harder to answer. I've come to the tentative conclusion that math is really hard to learn by yourself. This is not something you should try to do unless you're already quite good at math, or at least proficient in some related technical field like physics or computer science. It is hard to know where to start, what's important and what is not, which textbooks are well written, and so forth. Maybe more importantly, take a look. If you have gaps in your foundation, as many people do, it is hard to find them by yourself. You do not know what you do not know. What else is there? My Spanish / Mexican accent is not the best. New York City. If you really wanted to get good at math as, say, an adult who didn't pay too much attention to math in school, but now thinks it's really important, then it seems to me that the most efficient way to do it would be to hire a private tutor who's willing to spend potentially a very long amount of time carefully filling in all of the gaps in your foundation first. I don't know if this is actually a good idea or if it's worth the money. Depends on why you want to get good at mathematics, but I haven't come up with a better one. Khan Academy, not C-O-N, but K-H-A-N, might be a cheaper alternative, but I do not have much experience with it. And even if you use Khan Academy to fill in your gaps, you still need someone to tell you where to go next. Wisconsin English? In any case, the doing math part of the above is extremely important. Mathematicians get good at math the same way that violinists get good at violin and football players get good at football. Practice, practice, practice. Malcolm Gladwell likes to say that it takes about 10,000 hours of practice to get extremely good at something. And while I haven't looked at the research supporting that number, I think that it's the right order of magnitude. French. One reason is hard to learn math by yourself is the lack of feedback. It's hard to know what you're doing wrong, tabernacle. By contrast, people frequently manage to teach themselves how to program, and I think that's because programming offers quick and effective feedback. You can convince yourself that you've written down a proof of some mathematical statement, even if you haven't, but your program either compiles and does what you wanted it to or doesn't. Right. What other accents do I do? I just woke up about a half hour ago, so I'm still... Well, let's think of a map. It's very hard for me to do Scandinavian accents. Oh, Dutch. Holland Dutch accent, as heard in Amsterdam. So one indirect way to get good at math is to get good at programming first. This will teach you some valuable mental habits that will be useful for doing mathematics, and you may also learn some math directly along the way. And you won't hurt your job prospects either. Oh boy, I gotta get something to eat, folks. Okay, I'm signing off till later. I hope you enjoyed that sufficiently to tune in again at another time. This is for Somling. which means exactly the same thing as the German Versammlung, signing off.